A single locust nerve cell is hidden inside the crash sensors of self-driving cars. The reason is buried in something a locust does millions of times an hour, in the most crowded sky on Earth, without ever hitting its neighbor. Picture a desert locust swarm, not a handful, but tens of millions of insects packed wing to wing, moving as one dark cloud across the horizon. From the ground, it looks like pure chaos, a blur of bodies with no order to it at all. For centuries, that is exactly how we described it. A mindless plague, an act of blind hunger. But here is the fact almost no one is told. Inside that churning cloud, individual locusts almost never crash into each other. By every rule of flight, they should be colliding constantly, dropping out of the air by the thousand. They don't. And when engineers finally worked out why, they did not just settle a riddle about insects. They found a design they could bolt onto a car. Stay with me. The part everyone skips is the part that quietly changed how machines see the world. The desert locust is, on paper, a simple animal. Schistocerca gregaria, a grasshopper, plain and green, that spends most of its life alone, hopping through dry grass, harming no one. For most of history, that was the whole story, a bug you would barely notice. Then the rains come, the vegetation booms, and something in the locust changes. Crowded together, its body shifts color, its brain rewires, and the loner becomes a joiner. Millions of them rise at once. A swarm is born, and a swarm eats. A single desert locust devours its own body weight in plants every day, and a large swarm can strip a farm bare in hours, then move on to the next. This is the locust we were taught to fear, the plague of scripture, the black cloud that ends harvests. Governments track them, planes spray them, whole regions brace for them. Field guides list its range, its life cycle, its appetite in grim detail. The conventional picture is complete and grim. Mindless hunger, multiplied by the millions, rolling across a continent with no thought behind it. That is the story everyone knows. But what these insects do in the air is far stranger than what they do on the ground, and that part comes later. To understand why the flying is the strange part, you have to grasp how crowded that sky becomes. A desert locust swarm is not a loose scattering of bugs. At its densest, it can pack up to 80 million locusts into a single square kilometer, and the largest swarms have covered hundreds of square kilometers at once. Billions of insects in one moving mass. Inside that cloud, every locust is surrounded. Above, below, and on every side, other bodies are flying, each beating its wings 20 times a second, each following its own path. They are not lined up in neat rows. They cross, they climb, they dive. From the middle of the swarm, the view is a wall of oncoming insects, thousands of them looming closer every second. Now hold that image against a simple fact of physics. When objects that dense move that fast in that little space, collisions should be constant. A flock should be a demolition derby. Bodies should be knocked senseless, wings shredded, the whole swarm unraveling into a rain of stunned insects. That is what the math predicts. It is not what happens, and the reason breaks the whole idea of a mindless swarm. A locust flies blind through a wall of insects and almost never crashes. For a long time, no one could say why. The reason is not sharp eyes, not careful steering, not some hidden leader barking orders. It is one nerve cell. Each locust carries a single, oversized neuron wired straight to its eye, and that cell does exactly one job. It watches for anything growing larger, dead ahead, on a collision course. When another locust drifts into its path and swells in its field of view, that one cell fires a hard electric spike, and the insect banks or climbs out of the way before its brain has time to think it through. There is no map of the swarm. No tracking of every neighbor. Just one dedicated alarm for the only question that matters in a crowd moving that fast. Is something about to hit me? One question, asked and answered thousands of times a second by a cell too small to see. That is how a churning mass of millions stays airborne instead of raining down in collisions. A crash avoided without a thought. run by a single cell you could lose on the tip of a finger. And it turns out that same cell solved a problem our best engineers were still struggling with. Rewalk the swarm now, knowing what to look for, and the chaos dissolves. Every locust in that cloud is running the same tiny computation, over and over, thousands of times a flight. Biologists gave the looming detector a name, the LGMD, and then they tested it in the lab. They strapped locusts in front of screens and played films of dark shapes rushing toward them, and every time an object loomed on a hit course, that single cell lit up like an alarm. Show it something moving sideways, or shrinking, or drifting past. Nothing. It only cares about the one pattern that means impact. Change the speed, change the angle, and the cell stays silent until the instant a real threat grows in front of it. This is the evidence the old story stepped right over. A swarm is not a mob of blind gluttons colliding by luck. It is millions of identical collision avoidance units, each solving the exact same problem in parallel, each trusting one cell to keep it alive. The order was there the whole time. We just called it chaos because we were watching the hunger and never the flying. And once researchers understood the circuit clearly enough to draw it, someone asked an obvious question. If one cheap neuron can do this, why can't a machine? A locust crash alarm has been copied into the sensors that keep cars from colliding. Engineers took the wiring of that single neuron, a cell that does nothing but scream when a shape looms, and rebuilt it in electronics. They fed an ordinary video camera into a circuit modeled on the locusts, mounted it on robots and test vehicles, and let it watch the road. When something rushed toward the lens on a collision course, the artificial cell spiked, exactly like the real one, and triggered a brake or a swerve. No spinning radar, no expensive laser scanner, just one camera and a copy of a bug's reflex, warning of a crash a fraction of a second before it happens. Here is what almost no one talks about. We spent centuries studying the locust and saw only the plague, the eaten fields, the ruined harvests. We measured its appetite and missed its genius. The very thing we treated as mindless was quietly running one of the cleanest pieces of engineering in nature, and it took us until now to notice. The swarm was never the chaos. The chaos was only ever in how we chose to look at it. There is a lesson buried in that swarm, and it is not a comfortable one. For 3,000 years we looked at the locust and saw only what it destroyed. The answer to a problem we are spending billions to solve was riding in its head the entire time. We built expensive machines to learn a trick a 2-inch insect was born knowing. The next time a car stops itself an instant before a crash, remember what taught it that reflex. Not a supercomputer. A bug we called a plague.